and live in the service area. It's verified by tax records and also by the voting rolls that we just put out. Just 4 of the 5 members who are not qualified in this, under this lawsuit to serve on that board. Now, how long they haven't been able to, I don't know just yet. But they're making decisions and signing contracts and doing things that I don't think they should be able to do. And so if successful, then they won't be on the board anymore. Now, it's 4 of the 5. And what I think we're going to ask for at some point in time, hopefully soon, is that the county association allow the Montgomery County Association of Volunteer Fire Departments, the governing entity, to operate the Pike Road Volunteer Fire Department in order to rectify some of the things that have gone on over the last several years. I'm just letting you know you're at a disadvantage because you haven't seen the suit. I'll send a copy of it to you, and I appreciate anybody who wants to. I'll have my email, and of course my attorney is available to visit with the commission's attorneys or whoever you want him to talk to about the legal ramifications of this. But the suit has been filed, and there's a second part to the suit, and that is it asserts that the fire authority does not have the authority to enter into an ambulance service business. And I know there was some fairly extensive conversations about the county giving them an ambulance and giving them money to operate this ambulance service. So that's part of this suit also. So I just want to come down and say hi, let you know this is ongoing, and that's all I have for this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. That's all, Kendall.
Okay.
All right. Item number 1, consider minutes of the regular meeting of August the 18th, 2025.
Move for approval.
I need a second. Is everybody's up yet?
Nobody's up. I think I'm the only one up today.
I'm up.
And as the word turned.
Second.
Motion carries.
Click over on the little,
Moving on, yeah.
click on the other one up at the top.
Hit that little,
You're on the wrong agenda.
oh, you on
Yeah,
that
click
way?
at the top, there you go.
There you go.
All right, Mr. Costanz, Commissioner, thank you.
Look at teamwork.
We're good.
Teamwork.
Item number 2, consider accounts payable checks and payroll checks.
They want us to gather right now.
I just refreshed just to see.
Okay.
There it is. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries.
Get rid of this split screen, will that help some?
Item number 3, consider budget change request number 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries.
Item number 4, consider resolution approving abatement agreement with SoGo Properties LLC.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries. some reason, the move didn't go through.
Who? Well,
Justin, did you hit it again, or you already did, didn't you? Okay, there it is.
Item number 5, consider miscellaneous appropriations to agencies.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries.
Item number 6, consider miscellaneous appropriations to education with the addition of $1,050 to South Lawn Middle School and $1,000 to Macmillan Elementary.
South Lawn Elementary.
South Lawn Elementary.
Yes. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries.
Item number 7, consider miscellaneous appropriations from designated revenue with the addition of $1,000 from Commissioner Moore Ziegler to West Side Jubilee.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion carries.
Item number 8, consider travel and training request.
Move for approval.
second.
Motion carries.
Those are all of our items once it shows up on the screen. Before we pass it back to you, Chairman, our team was working diligently this morning, our support services staff, working with Tammy and the crew up top. I think if you look at the clock, it says 1:10, but our team was making sure that the screen and the clock and everything was working. So stuff happens, especially on a long holiday weekend. So I'd like to express the thanks to our support services staff along with our admin staff up top to getting everything working to where you see what you see on the screen.
Well, thank y'all. Mrs. Attorney? Nothing? Deputy Administrator?
Yes, sir, I'll be brief. Good morning. If you didn't have an opportunity to be downtown this weekend, I would say that you missed a treat. While I didn't get to indulge in a lot of the activities, I was down there yesterday on the outside part of the tailgate to make sure every ticket we had went to good use to people attending the game, and they were excited about being in Montgomery. And it just made me feel good to know that people felt good about coming to our city. So you get a chance, just kind of pop by a few of the areas, even if you can't stay, just to see how excited people are about being in Montgomery. And there was just a lot going on this weekend. And there was a blend of free and paid. So to me, that's something that's very family friendly. And we're going to work harder, Cody's new, to make sure that we promote what's going on so that the community know what's going on and they can plan a staycation around all these activities that we have.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
do a great job. ESPN has 3 ESPN televised games in Montgomery, Alabama. Nobody else has 3. Very rare you get 2, but we have 3. And it's really because of the great job that Johnny Williams did when he was alive, and now Robin, his wife, and Clay, and Pete from ESPN. But it was a great weekend, a lot of things around the game, and everybody had a great time. And I know we got the Salute the Veterans Bowl coming up in December, and the Sheriff's very involved in providing hospitality for people. So, but thank you for mentioning that. Vice Chair Moore Ziegler.
Thank you guys for what you did to make sure that was a great event this weekend. We had a lot of great things going on in Montgomery County. From that to, I participated yesterday in honoring the late Thad McClammy at the blues show that his daughter carried on. Representative McClammy in his honor, and it was fantastic. It was nice. It was a nice turnout, and everybody had a good time. And know that every single day, we all thrive to make sure we leave something a little better in Montgomery County for our citizens, because that's important. It's important that we leave every day just Montgomery County a little better than what we as county commissioners received it in. So we want you to know that we were working hard, because yesterday I noticed someone came to me wanting to know about some abandoned buildings in the city. And they also wanted to know why we at the county cannot make sure that our sheriff is at every destination in the city. So with that being said, I always say I don't come in anybody else's house without being invited, nor do I go in anyone else's house and tamper with anything without being invited. With that being said, we at the county cannot go in every neighborhood and make sure everything is okay and up to stand. That is the city, the police department. My sheriff will continue to assist the police department to the best of his ability, and we're making sure that we're paying for him to assist the city. But we cannot come without, we can't take over and take the city over and say, okay, out with the police, the sheriff is gonna run everything here. There's no way that we can do that. That's one thing. And then the other part, when you say come to me about abandoned buildings and why can't we make sure all the abandoned buildings are torn down. We have been working diligently. Anytime you see money coming, when you see money come from the federal side, understand this, it is a city and county joint. We just don't toot our own horn. We just sit back and let the city take the lead. But only in order to get federal money, it has to be a city and county joint thing. It can't be just the city say, okay, I want $10 million. It has to be a city and county joint thing. So understand that when you see it and you see it going on, it's not, we just here at the county don't decide that we just be the stepchildren and not say anything. But understand, we do work with the city hand in hand to make sure everything is going the way it needs to go. And you got to give everything time. Nothing happens overnight. Those buildings were not abandoned overnight. So you can't expect someone to come in and tear down every building. You got to understand this one part. We live in America. We can't dictate to a person that owns it and go up to them right now and tell them, I tear it down right now. It's the reason you live in America, reason that you were born in America. America's home of the free. We got, you got your own say. You can't go and tell, I can't go and tell somebody, well, your house is ugly, let me make sure you tear it down. That just doesn't work that way. So you have to be patient with us as we grow and we learn, but know that we're working and fighting hard every day and working hand in hand with the mayor and the city council to make sure that we can do the best we can for our citizens. And same thing with Montgomery County. Someone stopped me yesterday to talk about the fact that they heard that you and I have been meeting with the city to ensure that we put Hope Hull and Penlaw and all those areas in the city. And I assured them that was not true. We had not been meeting. There's no out there. So I'm going to dismiss that right there. There is nothing out there saying that the city is coming and going to take over Hope Hull, Snowden, and Penlaw. There is no rule out there. There's nothing happening. That is not true. That is not happening. And so I got that. I got that a lot yesterday while I was out. I think that was the most question I got, was everybody upset because they think you and I are working hand in hand to give Penlaw, Hope Hull, and Snowden to the city of Montgomery. And I assured them that is not true. If anything, Doug and I are working hand in hand to continue to grow those areas for a better living right there in Montgomery County. So.
Yeah, and this commission don't have the power to annex property anyway, so that's entirely false. And I thought you were gonna say it was annexing in the town of Pike Road. I hear that one too. So.
Oh, yeah.
But
Someone came to me about, but I said that was your baby right there. I'm not going.
we don't have the power to annex anybody. They're all in Montgomery County, so we're gonna serve them. And I haven't been in any meetings yet about that at all.
I haven't either, but I did assure them that, and I know a lot of people get scared that they don't want things to grow, but if you understand one thing, if you don't grow, you die. And that's simple. If you don't grow, you will die. So our whole thing is to make sure that we continue to grow those areas and make them be the wonderful counties that I know about, that I grew up in every single day. But, I told them, I know they were upset because they said that you and I are making sure big industries are coming there, and we're doing all of that. But at the same time, if we don't grow any part, we will continue. You will die, and I don't think we want any part of Montgomery County to die away.
Yeah, and again, the county has no power over annexation. We have no power if they want to be a municipality.
No.
The town of Pike Road did any area wants to, that's up to them. And we're gonna support them regardless, they're part of Montgomery County, so. Commissioner Costanza.
Just a couple quick things. Just want to say congrats to Cody and his new baby. That is not something I am jealous of, but something I do miss. I miss it.
I'm jealous of it. I'm gonna tell right now, if my husband's watching, I'm jealous of it.
Henry. Better take a business trip for a couple days, Henry. Oh, man. No, I super exciting to have a new baby in the house. So congrats to Cody, and I hope he gets to sleep between now and November.
No, he won't.
Prayers continue for Dan. I
Oh, yeah.
know that our entire
Definitely.
commission family is really feeling the burn of not having our partner here with us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it says a lot about where he must be to not only miss some of these commission meetings, but to have not been able to make it to the Alabama Shakespeare Festival Gala, I think was proof that he is not doing well. And so
Continue prayers.
miss you, Dan, and hope you're doing well. Gave a quick shout out to our DYW 2025 Ann Stallings Gardner from Trinity, the 24 competitors, just really impressive. Thank you to everybody who makes that possible. I know a couple of us support the program as well, but it was really neat. So excited to have her out in person. Then the last thing I'll share, we've my two worlds really collided last week when a young elementary school in Minneapolis was the victim of a senseless crime. And so I have, not only do I have kids in a small Catholic school, but I'm having to run a small Catholic school here in Montgomery, and parents don't understand the severity of, well, not the severity, our parents see on the news what has happened and want to know, what are you going to do to stop that? What are you going to do to fix this? And I tell them, there's nothing that we can do to stop certain things from happening, which is incredibly scary. But what we can do is we can be prepared as possible, and we can talk through with our young people, and that's really my point here today is twofold. One, I'm going to talk with Sheriff and EMA afterwards, maybe about some stuff that I've got in mind, but also, over the weekend you see everything coming out about 25 years or 20 years since Katrina, and so much of what happened in the aftermath of Katrina was lack of resources, lack of preparedness, and frankly, lack of public officials willing to work together. And, take all the politics out of it you want. I don't care who was sitting in the Superdome, they needed help. I don't care house was flooded, they needed help. I don't care where the resources were going to come from, they needed to get where they needed to go. And there's no difference in an active shooter in a school situation. There's no difference in the threats that our young people face. And so not only do we need to recognize our willingness, or our responsibility is what I should say, as public officials and as elected officials, to be prepared, but also to serve in the time of need. Also, I want to really empower our parents to have hard conversations. I had a parent tell me, Justin, the number one thing you can do is you can have the tough conversation. You use the hard words. And I appreciate her sharing that with me. It is hard to do. It is hard to talk to your young kids about the fact they're going to be sitting in church and something like that could have happened. What parent wants to send their child to school knowing that that's a possibility? Well, the only way to eliminate the risk is to close the doors, and we're not willing to do that. So we are going to be as prepared as we possibly can, and we'll always have things to learn. I think 10 years ago, if you said, hey, script every possible scenario that's out there, we would have never come up with half of what we've seen in the last decade. And if we did it right now for what we're going to see, I'm not sure that we could come up with what the world's going to throw at us. So the best thing that we can do is be creative, surround ourselves in the best resources we've got, which is why I'm super proud of having Wade and his team at EMA, having the Sheriff's Department, having our partnerships with the agencies that exist in the city of Montgomery, and we need to be able to continue to leverage those. There's a lot of ugly going on in the world, a lot of hard. We're going to have a lot of hard conversations. We went a whole meeting today, and we didn't say words like SSUT, airport, funding, Whitewater, Jackson Hospital. Yeah, are those bad words today? Maybe they are. They are. But we can't ever ignore the fact that we've got to be prepared from an emergency response standpoint. And so when we talk about spending resources ahead of time to be prepared, let's not forget the sting of Katrina. Let's not forget the feeling of what they just went through in Minneapolis, where they would have given anything to have one more ambulance, one more first responder, one more sheriff's deputy. And I don't want to be in a position where we are wishing that we had and we didn't.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I
That's
just
definitely true.
want to offer my prayers and thoughts for all those families who are affected, for the loss of the 2 young children. I was a boy and a girl the same exact age of my 8-year-old and my 10-year-old son and daughter, and that's pretty tough. And I know all of us don't want to have to deal with or see anything like that. And so continue to pray for them and pray for us. And shout out, I know this is mixing all the worlds that I'm in together, but we are tomorrow going to get a new archbishop in the Archdiocese of Mobile, and so I'll have a new boss. Mark Rivatuso will be installed as the 3rd archbishop of the Archdiocese of Mobile, and that impacts us. We in this area sit in the Archdiocese of Mobile, and it's very exciting, so I just want to give him a shout out. That's all I got.
Oh, is Father Wall still there?
Father Wall? Yeah, down south.
Down south, oh, yeah.
Yeah, been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner Sankey?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Speaking of those projects that maybe need our attention as it relates to funding, I want to echo what Ms. Regina Walker has brought up in terms of being ambassadors. We all need to be ambassadors for Montgomery County and make sure that our visitors are welcome, understand the public relation aspect of it. I know that close to $2 million of the budget is related to lodging taxes. And so we certainly want to make our guests feel welcome when they come here so they can come back, so we can have revenue to sustain the projects that we think are worthy of sustaining. Also, you can't help but notice that 44% of the budget is county sales taxes. And so, we need to continue to we need to continue to create the jobs and so forth and attract the industries that provide good livable wages so that we can continue to sustain county government. I mean, with 44% of the budget being sustained by county sales taxes, that's going to be very, very important. So all of us are ambassadors in one way or another, and so we always want to get a good impression out there for the folks who are visiting, and we also want to be mindful of the fact that we need to continue to create good paying jobs so we can sustain government, and government can do what it has to do to make sure that all of us enjoy the quality of life that we deserve. So that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Echo, what Carmen said about Thad McClammy. He was my representative. He did a great job. He fought for Montgomery County, and so I'm glad that y'all still remembering him. Last Thursday morning, we had a meeting here, and when I got out of the meeting, my phone was blowing up, over 100 calls, texts, because I wasn't paying attention to my phone during the meeting, but I was in Commissioner Sankey's office when I actually looked down, and I got a text letting me know that a dear friend of mine named Tim Lee had passed away in his sleep the night before. I want to share a little bit about Tim Lee today. If you watched the Alabama State UAB game the other night, after the game, Trent Dilfer, the coach for UAB on national television, started his press conference by mentioning that he had lost a great friend in Tim Lee earlier that day. Tim always gave out these purple pens, and on the pen it said, "Life can change on a dime." And James 4:4, I believe, is the verse that references that. But let me tell you a little bit about Tim Lee. Let me tell you a little bit about his last week on earth. For 20 years, he's been doing this gridiron kickoff at Landmark Church. 800 men come together and they talk football and they have a speaker, and many of you have been to those dinners on Monday night. He started that and he ran that. No fanfare about doing it or anything. He also started 25 years ago a ministry, recovery addiction ministry at Landmark Church. Now, most addiction ministries only last 2 or 3 years and they go away. He's been doing it 25 years. Friday morning, I was eating breakfast at a restaurant, and this young man comes up to me and says, "Hey, Doug, you don't know me, but I want to tell you about your friend Tim Lee." He said, "When I was going through addiction problems, losing my family, losing my job, Tim Lee found me. Don't know how he found me. I didn't know Tim Lee. He took me under his wing. He got me involved in the addiction program. He said he saved my life. He changed my life. Now I have my family, job, everything back together again." He said, "I saw Tim Lee the other day. He just came up to me and said, 'Hey, I just want to tell you I love you.'" And I share that with people today because we had a breakfast Saturday morning, group of men, as we do every Saturday morning, 25 or 30. Sheriff Cunningham was there with us Saturday. And we just all talked about our memories of Tim Lee and what he meant to all of us and what an impact he had on our lives. So, again, you know, my challenge from Tim Lee is to try to be like Tim Lee on earth. And to care for people and let them know how much you appreciate them while you can. Again, one of the top 3 people that I knew in this earth that being unselfish and loving other people. And we're all gonna miss him, but we're all rejoicing too, because there's no doubt where he is today. But I want to share that with y'all. Life can change on a dime. And some of you may have a purple pen that has that on there, but what a great words for that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Doug. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I forgot to thank you too. Thank you and the rest of you for calling me on last week. I'm so sorry. My daughter lost her pet, Jasmine. Jasmine been with us for 11 years. And it was a trying time for my daughter last week. And keep her in your prayers as she goes on this journey of losing her best friend who got her through so much. And I didn't, you know, Doug, when you lost your dog, I remember you crying. I remember you all going through the motions, and I was like, what in the world's wrong with Doug? But when I had to go and pick Jasmine's body up from my daughter, I understood what was wrong with Doug and seeing my child hurt. But I just want to thank the commission and people that have been calling me and thanking me, sending prayers to me, and especially my daughter. Keep her in your prayers as she go on this journey without her best friend.
You know, and when Carmen sent the picture to us, I thought her daughter had died.
She did.
And Justin kind of thought the same thing, and Isaiah.
No,
he-
Justin did not. Justin knew.
Isaiah was kind of, Isaiah,
I knew she said Jasmine, not Ada,
I
but the
know,
picture was unsettling.
but she said Jasmine, and I thought, well, her daughter's name's Ada, but maybe she calls her Jasmine or something like that. And
Justin had met Jasmine. You never met Jasmine. Justin's met Jasmine.
so I called Carmen, and because I wanted to hear her voice, because I didn't know, and I heard her voice, and she was upbeat as if her daughter had not died, even though how painful it is to have a child. But
But she
anyway,
still was my fur daughter, so.
I know, fur daughter,
Yeah.
so that was good. All right, do I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.